How'd you get in?
Your key, you left it over the door. And it's a very clever place to hide it.
You know, skiing's a much more acceptable exercise than breaking an entry, Betty.
I'm sorry.
Forget it.
Well, I knew you were going to be like this, so I was typing you a note.
What, man? Apologize. Well, as long as you're here, I might as well get a little work out of you. Take off my boots, wench.
Well, I might as well.
Seeing how I'll never understand you.
You're not supposed to. The reason you like me is because I'm mysterious.
Okay, know it all. I'll tell you why I like you. Because you're cruel, and I'm a masochist.
The skiing must have been terrible, huh?
Yeah, you're right. There was more rocks and snow, and the ski lift broke down about 50 times.
Rod, let's be serious for a second.
No.
The reason I couldn't come with you is that, well, you don't know what it's like to lose for the second time. It's frightening. It's like, well, maybe this is going to keep happening to me, bouncing around from one husband to the next, never quite knowing what happened or why.
Betty.
Rod, do you understand?
You know, man shouldn't have given woman the vote. We should have made it illegal for them to learn to read and write, and then we should have cut out their tongues.
Oh, Rod.
Well, it would have solved 3/4 of the world's problems. While you're up, you can get my slippers for me. They're in the medicine cabinet.
They're in the medicine cabinet. What?
Thine is not to question, but to do.
Yes, sir.
No, Betty, the feet, they go on the feet. Ah, yes, that's much better. All right, you may come here now. Now tell me about that fouled up past, present, and future. Probably won't work, you know.
You and me? What am I doing here?
You took off my boots, put on my slippers. You're in my arms. What more do you want?
Just a few more moments, Weber.
Oh, that's all right. I almost forgot what I come in here to say anyhow.
I realize what agony it must be to you with your single-track mind to have something vitally important to say and have to wait to say it. But self-discipline is good for the spleen. Helps us withstand life's trials and tribulations.
Well, I just thought that Eddie Jacks was #1 on your list, that's all.
He's running a close second to this.
You mean to tell me that's why you've been too busy to talk to me all day?
My personal check. Care to glance at the amount?
Yeah. $450,000, huh?
All those zeros are a bit confusing, aren't they?
Oh, what state are you going to buy this time, Mr. Payne?
With that rather insignificant sum, will buy me enough stock to control a company whose assets are conservatively estimated at $17 million.
Wow.
Now then, what about this Eddie Jacks? Have you made contact with him?
Yeah, I ran into him at Ada's joint last night, and I ran you right into the ground. Well, just like you told me, remember? Well, he went for it, and we're buddies now.
And buddies confide in one another.
No, not him. He's kind of cagey. You see, he stopped by my house this morning, and he asked a lot more questions than he answered. So I just hung in there, and he came through.
Came through with what?
Well, he said that he was in jail once. He didn't tell me what for. He's kind of touchy about that.
Well, I'm not interested in his past, Weber. Only in what he thinks his future holds for him.
Yeah, well, you know, you're right. You know, he's in town for something big, something bigger than just being with his kid or running a two-bit tavern.
Well, that's why I sent you after him in the first place.
Well, give me a chance. I've only talked to the guy twice.
Well, I certainly hope the third time is the charm. Eddie Jacks is like a hungry mosquito. He's not dangerous, but he's annoying. So I want you to find me something to swat it with.
You'll get it.
But when?
Well, he's making it easier for me. He's coming to me now. He's hung up on that car of yours.
Hung up?
Well, he digs it.
Oh.
He got hung up on them when he was over in England. He even asked me to take him for a ride, and I told him no dice, man.
That wasn't very wise of you, was it?
Well, how do you figure?
Well, if you're the disloyal Lee Weber you're pretending to be, concern for my car is out of character. You should have jumped at the bait and said, what's that expression you use? Tough on the old man.
Wait a minute. He wanted me to take that car out and open it up and put it through a ringer.
Well, my valves can stand it if I get the information I want.
The next time he asked.
Why don't you ask him? On your own, of course, without my permission. Remember, you're supposed to be disloyal. The disgruntled servant who's biting the hand that's feeding it.
That's me.
Well, don't get carried away with the role. Oh, is there anything else?
I'd give you the club that knocks Eddie Jacks out of the box, right? And you get rid of Eddie Jacks, and I get...
What?
That's what I want to know.
And now the haggling begins.
Well, look, I've done a lot for you, Mr. Payton.
You'll get your reward. You have my word for it.
That's all I ever get is your word.
What do you want?
Oh, good job in that new company you just bought.
Well, if I were thinking of liquidating it, that's exactly what I'd do.
Very funny.
Now, what brought this up? Has Eddie Jacks been buzzing in your ear?
Eddie Jacks told me that you gave me my job just so you could have a hold of me. So you could dangle a carrot in front of me, and when I reached out to get it, you'd bust my knuckles. And then after you were done playing your silly little games, you'd throw me to the wolves.
And you believed him.
I don't know what to believe.
I'm very disappointed in you, Weber. But listen to this. If you give me cause, I'll not only throw you to the wolves, I'll feed you to them personally.
You're just making it that much easier for me to act, Mr. Payton.
Weber. Weber. You said you could handle Eddie Jacks. I think you underestimated him. I think he's handling you.
That's a lie.
Weber, prove it.
I have a ton of paperwork for you to sign.
Oh, just leave it here. We'll get to it in the morning.
Yes, sir. Good night, Mr. Harrington.
Good night.
I waited till she left. You know, Les, you ought to put an elevator back there. Those steps are murder.
Did you see Weber?
Yeah?
Well, what happened?
He's angry.
Too dumb to be anything else.
Well, I don't mean just plain everyday angry. He's a walking ammunition dump, you know? One match in the right place, and Lee Weber will explode all over this town. All we gotta do is point him in the direction of Martin Payton and pick up the pieces.
You better be careful you don't get your fingers burned.
Ah, you're looking at the fellow who invented the match. Now, Weber's got a weak spot, a sore point. His boss.
He thinks the old man's the biggest thing since nickel beer.
But now that I've talked with him, he's afraid that Payton's gonna sell him short.
What do you mean?
Ah, he thinks the old pirate owes him something.
For what?
Maybe he reads the stock market reports to him in the morning or takes him his teddy bear at night. It doesn't matter.
Look, I told you to get close to Weber. Find out the old man's routine, where he goes and when.
He takes a drive every afternoon.
When? For how long?
I don't know.
Well, where do they go?
I don't know that either, yet.
Well, find that out. It's important. Now, look, you better forget Weber. You'll make a slip. Tell him something that'll blow the whole deal. You just do what I tell you, the way I tell you.
Listen, my spineless friend, I'm the front man of this operation. And until you're ready, willing, and able to take over, why don't you just watch from the grandstand and enjoy the action? I want to fix it so we both walk away from this spotless.
How?
Well, Weber, the car, and Payton. Now, they all go together. All I got to do is find out the right combination.
Devon? Devon!
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
You keep off my turf because I've got a big investment in Mr. Martin Peyton. So you don't get any big ideas, right, Eddie?
You're being deliberately blind. Knowing the circumstances of his death, how could you even consider marrying his widow?
I must leave this house. Would you go away with me?
I love you, Steve.